wrestling fans. Not sports entertainment fans. Professional wrestling fans. Professional wrestling. This is it. This is us standing up. This is
the Wrestling Matters Podcast, a podcast that stands up for professional wrestling. Why? Because wrestling matters. So join the revolution, because the revolution is now.
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change.
professional wrestling. This is it. This is us standing up.
Yes, 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 yes.
That's 13-14.
Cena, I am the best in the world.
Cause that's the bottom line. Cause Stone Cold said so.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the 77th installment of the Wrestling Matters Podcast. It is me, said H-E-A to that D, Anthony Walker at your service again. And yeah, what a week I've had. On today's shows, as always, we talk Raw, we talk Smackdown, NXT, Ring of Honor, and Impact Wrestling, as we always do on this show. And we're going to talk Night of Champions. I'm going to give my Night of Champions predictions too, as well. Can't forget that. Now, as I was saying, guys, I have had a bit of a frustrating week, okay? And I'm going to tell you how it all started right now. And I'm going to talk about a little something that's popped up on the internet. Oh my god, what a week I've had, okay? I get up Tuesday after Raw, the day after Raw, to record a video for my Wrestling Matters channel. But my OBS software that I use wouldn't work for some reason. What reason, I do not know. But I managed to fix it, because I had to do it late at night. I managed to get the audio in shape. I don't know how good it is or anything like that, but the audio was a bit echoey. So I managed to get it back in shape. Managed to get it to the point that it can be, but you wouldn't believe the amount of work I had to put in on that day just to get that video to work. Oh my god. And considering the fact that I was working my stewarding job at Middlesbrough Football Club that day as well, didn't help matters one bit. But I managed to get it up, and in the second part of this show, of this podcast, you will hear the audio from Monday Night Raw, my Raw review, and the Night of Champions predictions along with it, because I finally managed to get the damn thing up. Now, a bit of a disclaimer here, guys. If you hear any echoey during that thing, I deeply apologize, okay? I did the best I could with it. It wasn't the best thing in the world. I know, the best audio in the world, but I guarantee you it'll improve next coming weeks as well, because I've got some big stuff coming up in the next coming weeks. But yeah, if you hear any echoey, I apologize. Just a little disclaimer there to make your heads up and everything, but it was a pain in the fucking ass to do, and I eventually did it when I came home from the match, from working the Middlesbrough job. I eventually came home and got it up and got it sorted out and got it all done and dusted. I didn't put it on, I don't know if I did put it on Facebook as well. Check it out, facebook.com/WM podcast. I could understand why I didn't really get over that well on there, because it was late at night and everything. I made a mess of it. If I had got it up about 8:30 UK time, it might have got over, but I got it up basically at 11:30. Although people are still taking interest into it and everything, which is cool, but I understand why it didn't work. But don't worry, it will not happen again, I can guarantee you that. I'll make sure of it. But it was a pain in the ass to make and sort out. I just cannot believe it took so long, and I don't know what the hell my computer was doing, but I swear to god I'm going to kill my laptop one of these days. And it's like it said on my Facebook, I'm going to rock bottom my laptop one of these days. I really am. It was just frustrating as hell, but I managed to get it done, managed to get it uploaded. youtube.com/AJW Wrestling Matters. Be sure to check that out. It's on there. If it's echoey, there's a notification on there. If it's echoey, I apologize. But yeah, it is what it is at the end of the day. That's what happens when your computer, your software that you use, and your laptop turn out to be the most frustrating things ever and make you want to kill them, so to speak. But anyway, it got up there, and it was up nonetheless. Now, I have a bit of an interesting article here that I found, courtesy of NoDQ.com. Shout out to NoDQ.com as well on this one. All the credit in the world goes to this website for this. Ric Flair noted on the latest installment of the Woo Nation podcast, ladies and gentlemen, that prior to WCW's closing, Kevin Nash and Hulk Hogan struck a deal with the company that allowed the two, Hogan and Nash, to collect 50% of the sales of any NWO merchandise. And that same deal obviously carried over to WWE when WWE bought the rights and got the WCW and whatever. Flair would go on to mention after Hulk Hogan's racial comments surfaced online, WCW decided to pull all NWO related merchandise off shelves. And WWE Shoutouts.com as well. Once the word got out, Nash went crazy because he owned 35% of sales. Hall owned a percentage, but Nash bought out his share. Nash apparently then flew up to Stanford, and an agreement was made to put the NWO merchandise back on the shelves. So you can do what you want basically with that, because you could work out that yourself. All the NWO stuff and everything was, Nash being the businessman, he gets 50% of the sales and everything. I mean, for Pete's sake, this whole thing with Hogan is a pain in the ass, to be honest. This whole related stuff, something that happened a long time ago, and they're bringing it up now. That's like what I went through with my stuff in 2004, and then 4 years. That's like 4 years later, 4 years on, they bring it up again, and it surfaces and shit. It's just ridiculous. But all in all, guys, the agreement was made, and you can still buy your NWO merchandise. And I've got plenty of NWO merchandise as well. I've got the red and black t-shirt. I think I've got the proper one as well. I'll have to check. I know I've got the proper NWO black and white shirt. Yep, ladies and gentlemen, it is safe to say I'm an NWO mark. I'm proud of it. Also, that's the end of that article. Also, I just want to give a quick shout out to WhatCulture.com. Now, as you well know, I have reviewed and had some opinions on their videos these past couple of weeks, these past couple of shows. Well, it seems that WWE have copyrighted them. WWE WhatCulture.com, What Culture WWE on YouTube. They have been plugged basically by WWE, copyright bullshit and all that, yada yada yada. But I've watched one of their videos and they say that everything is going up. They're working on, agreeing with WWE on what footage to use and what not to use and whatever. So hopefully they'll be back in business very, very soon. Well, on that channel at least. I mean, can WWE, do no wrong when it comes to this stuff, man? I mean, the channel makes great content. It allows, there's some footage on that, but it allows people to know what obviously wasn't or what was going to happen and everything behind the scenes stuff. And some of it has been very, very interesting. They tried to put a WWE 10 things WWE wants you to forget about Stone Cold up. I tried to watch that, but it was blocked by WWE. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think they want to make any money from it. I don't know. They might do. I don't know. But this is why you have to be very careful with what you're doing on YouTube. That's why I'm being very careful with my podcast and my stuff that I'm doing on the Wrestling Madness channel, as well as my Games Matter channel as well. I trim things out just to make sure there's no copyright BS in there as well. But I mean, WWE just can't leave it out alone. Yes, it's WWE footage they're using. Yes, it's all owned by WWE, blah 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 blah. But 99% of the stuff that is on there is good stuff. It really is. It's amazing stuff. I mean, like I said, I talked about Justin Bieber, going to SummerSlam and wrestling in the main event and pinning Bray Wyatt to win the match. I mean, some of that stuff, man. I mean, we wouldn't know about that. I mean, it's good content, good stuff, and I'll continue to plug them on here, but at the moment right now, they can't do nothing about it because of WWE. So hopefully they can strike a deal with them and, get everything back to normal. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of part 1 of the Wrestling Matters podcast. Now, like I say, guys, a disclaimer, you're going to hear the audio from the Raw review that I made and the Night of Champions predictions. Like I say, guys, disclaimer, if you hear anything echoey or anything like that, I deeply apologize, okay? It won't happen again. It was something that I had to do. I had to put it out that way. I managed to save it. I don't know. It sounded good anyway in the audio and that, but check it out. Enjoy it. If it gets echoey, I apologize. It was the best that I can do. It was a frustrating thing to to put out, but I managed to get it out for you, and I'm going to play the audio of the Raw review and Night of Champions predictions right after this, and then in part 3 we'll talk Smackdown, we'll talk NXT, and then we'll talk TNA, frustrating TNA, and Ring of Honor as well, so stay tuned for that. I'll all be back right after this. Be sure to tune in every single Tuesday now for the Wrestling Madness Podcast Extra, where I'll be hosting a podcast on one promotion and one promotion only. ICW, Insane Championship Wrestling, the hottest promotion in Scotland. Well, I'll be reviewing their shows.
Oh my God!
Talking ICW.
That's 13-14!
And who knows, maybe getting some guests on. So be sure to tune in to the Wrestling Madness Podcast Extra ICW podcast, Insane Championship Wrestling, every Tuesday on YouTube, Podomatic, Stitcher Radio, downloaded free at iTunes, Mixcloud, and SoundCloud. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans.
World, look into my eyes. When you see me on a show, when you see these fans, you know you've got the best in the damn world. We are ICW and you're gonna know our name.
Wrestling fans! Hello, it's me, said HEAD here at your service for another video, that's right. Now, as you can probably tell right now, it is now 12:15 in UK time, which is about 6:45 America time, I would imagine, depending on where you are, East Coast, I believe. And, yeah. I'm here today to review the Raw review. That's right, last night's Raw, and give my Night of Champions predictions too. Now, I want to tell you this, I've had a nightmare today. I've tried to record this video as you're seeing right now. I've tried to record it 4 times. For some reason, my open broadcaster didn't work, and I tried to record it on my other one, but it got echoey on the audio. So, as of right now, I'm doing it again. And I'm going to keep on doing it. If I don't do it now, I will do it tomorrow on the thing. Hopefully this works. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, one quick reminder. Because I've been so busy, there's going to be a delay with the Progress Wrestling and the ICW podcasts this week. And probably next week, depending. Yeah. I'm going to have to delay it. Normally I'll put these up at Tuesdays and Wednesdays, but there's going to be a little bit of delay. Hopefully I'll try and get them both up tomorrow, as I'm recording this right now on a Wednesday, but it's going to be difficult because, like I said, I've been busy all week. And I've just finished a match tonight. I've got another one next week, so yeah, it's a bit of a busy month for me, ladies and gentlemen. But you know what? I don't mind. Gives me something to do. Anyway, Monday Night Raw. Get to my Night of Champions predictions in a second. Kicked off with a 20-minute promo from Triple H and the Authority. Whoop-de-doo. And Triple H, the Authority. And they announced matches, hyped up Night of Champions, which is this Sunday, and yes, I will be watching on the network. And they made a match for the first time, which involved Sting and the Big Show. That's right. Sting made his debut on Raw. God knows how long this has been, but he's made his debut on Raw. And the match itself didn't really get off, really, because despite the fact that they promoted it as Sting versus Big Show, and I think JBL at one point said it was the first time that Sting was going to wrestle the Big Show. No, JBL. I might be wrong on that, but Cole educated him during the show anyway, because as we all know, these two go back to WCW, and at one point they were WCW World Tag Team Champions. And at one point at Great American Bash in 1998, these two wrestled for the tag team belts for control of the WCW World Tag Team titles, because one joined NWO Hollywood and the other joined NWO Wolfpack. Bet you can figure that out, couldn't you? That's right. Big Show joined NWO Hollywood, which he's done many, many times, and even in WWE too. And Sting joined the Wolfpack. But like I said, it didn't get off that well because Seth Rollins came down, Big Show and Seth Rollins attacked Sting, and then Cena came down to make the save, and then Triple H made it a tag team match. Sting and Cena versus Seth Rollins and the Big Show. And that was the main event. It was okay, actually. When it came back from the break, it was just total authority. Seth and Big Show just dominating the whole match. Dominating it from start to finish. Until Sting manages to get a tag in and cleans house like he does. And also hits a Scorpion Death Drop on Seth Rollins. And then locks in a Scorpion Deathlock. And I mean locks in. I don't care who you are. If you get a Scorpion Deathlock, Sharpshooter, whatever the hell you want to call that move, and he rips it on you like he did there, he sits back on it like that, you're going to tap out. Because you either tap out or he snaps you in half. And if Sting does that in Night of Champions, he will be the World Heavyweight Champion. But all in all, I thought it was a good way to end the show. With that nice little positive feel going into Night of Champions. Now, don't get me wrong. I might as well mention Cena. I might as well mention the match he had earlier in the night. Because I don't think even he expected to be in 2 matches on the same night. But hey, he got to tag with Sting. Would you disagree? Would you not accept that? Oh yeah, I'm going to be in a tag match and I'm going to tag with Sting. Okay. He wrestled Sheamus. Now these two have met before. These two have had a rivalry before, and it was a good physical match. These two brought the best out of each other. Lots of counters. Sheamus at one point getting frustrated, very frustrated indeed. And yeah, I liked it. I thought it was a really, really good match. Not their best match, but it was still a good physical match nonetheless. It got me entertained. I was watching it. Didn't bother the hell out of me. And like I said, lots of counters in the match, and then it ended up being Cena with the AA. More on Sheamus later. And like I said, really good match for what it was anyway. I'll go to the Divas. Paige and Sasha Banks. Now, these two have developed a rivalry off the beat the clock. I don't know why this has turned into a rivalry between them, because obviously Paige wanted to be Divas champion. She wanted the shot at the Divas title. But even I couldn't beat anybody in 1 minute 40 seconds. The way Charlotte beat Brie Bella, and mind you, it was Brie's fault. So, you know, but these two had a rivalry, and these two just went at it. I mean, throwing German suplexes and shit, and it was a good physical match. And then Tamina had to ruin it by getting involved, because Paige was going for a flip dive. Tamina grabbed Sasha out the way, which allowed her to get Paige back in the ring and lock in the bank statement. All in all, it was a good Divas match. And then after that, Team Bad took advantage of the numbers game, so to speak, while Charlotte was in the back getting ready for a Divas title match. All in all, I loved it. I thought it was a good match. And where this is going to go, I could see these Team PCB, depending on what they're going to do with Charlotte when she wins the women's title. Again, more on that later. I think that these two could have a Survivor Series match. PCB versus Team Bad. You know, Survivor Series, a traditional Survivor Series 3-on-3 elimination match. I'll be up for it. But I just can't see what this feud will get out of this, you know, as far as rivalries go. Maybe both of them will have to face Charlotte at one point. I don't know. But all in all, a good match. Now, speaking of Charlotte, she had a Divas title match. And again, a very good title match, I thought. A really good title match. Nikki brought her A game. Listen, she might be known as She-Ra. She might be known as Mrs. Cena. And yes, she's John Cena's girlfriend. I'll get to that point later. But she put on a good match. I have to give her credit. And she worked on the arm. Charlotte was very innovative on the offense. And these two took it to one another. And it seemed at one point that the respective teams, stayed away and just let these two go at it. But, of course, Brie Bella tries to pull Twin Magic, and it backfired. Because Charlotte rolled her up and got the 3 count. Now, we all thought Charlotte actually did the impossible and won the Divas title, but no, Stephanie had to ruin it, didn't she? You can't win the Divas title by pinning the wrong person. Whoop-de-doo. So, Stephanie had no choice but to give the belt back to Nikki Bella, which ultimately broke Charlotte's heart. But I think the party will be over on Sunday. Party's over on Sunday, and there will be a new era, just like I said on Twitter, a new era in the Divas division and a new face of the Divas division in Charlotte. So enjoy it while you can, Nikki, but you're losing it Sunday, girl. And yeah, I want to see if I can find the tweet that I tweeted out during the show, well, after the match, in fact. So bear with me just 2 seconds. I tweeted this out. It got a couple of favourites and a retweet as well, which was beautiful. So thank you to whoever did that. And if I can find it, which would be grateful, yeah. Nikki, longest reigning Divas champion. Thank you, Stephanie, for killing a great moment. And thank you, John Cena, for your rumoured backstage politicking. Now, for those of you that saw that and probably think, what the hell am I talking about? Allow me to digress. There was talk at one point that John Cena did some backstage politicking. Now, the idea was when the minute Charlotte came up from the NXT to the main roster, she was going to get the Divas title. But Mr. Politician, as he's now become, from what I'm hearing, Mr. John Cena, has now obviously cajoled and pushed and politicked Nikki to getting the reign, if you will, the longest reigning Divas title, the championship title thing. And it's all because of John Cena, because that was the idea. But, like I said in that tweet, the second tweet that I made, the party's over Sunday, the Bella Twins will end, and it's all going to be done. Done. And, yes, the Bella Twins will lose, Nikki will lose the Divas title, and there'll be a new era in the Divas division. Long overdue, too, I might add, because I love me some Charlotte. She's absolutely great. And she did it. She was the face. She was the face of the NXT Women's division. Why can't she be the face of the Divas division? We'll find out Sunday. More on that later, though, with the predictions. Now, Ryback and Kevin Owens had a bit of a face-to-face. Why did I do that for? Scene, hello. And it led to an announcement that Ryback will defend the Intercontinental Championship against Kevin Owens this Sunday at Night of Champions, which I'm down for. I could dig that. And also on the kickoff show, Adrian Neville and Lucha Dragons, based off what happened on Raw, Adrian Neville and Lucha Dragons will take on Cosmic Wasteland, Stardust Ascension. And that'll be on the kickoff show. And Neville and the Lucha Dragons sent a message to Cosmic Wasteland on Raw, which led to the announcement that they were going to have that match. I won't watch it. I never watched the kickoff show. I might watch the match, but I never watched the kickoff show anyway. I just wait for the pay-per-view. Just say, fuck that, get on with it. Let's do this. Rusev and Cesaro. Hard-hitting match as it was expected to be, but Dolph Ziggler came down and changed the complexion of the match, so to speak, because he brought a present down for Summer Rae, handed it to her. Summer didn't want it at first. That distracted Rusev. Cesaro got the roll up and got the 1-2-3, and then Rusev got up, took a kick in the face, took a super kick in the face from Dolph Ziggler, just got up, and next minute he's back down again. And then as Summer Rae was on the outside carrying away, checking on Rusev, she picked the present up from the announce table that Dolph brought. I'm thinking to myself, where's this going to go? This whole thing between Cesaro and Rusev and Dolph Ziggler and this, because the building up to a women mixed tag match, you can see that. Anyone can see that. But Lana's out with a wrist injury. And I don't know where this is going to go. Hopefully this will end Sunday at Night of Champions, this match, because they're going to go one-on-one with Sam Ray in the corner, but they're going to go one-on-one on Sunday. I don't know where this is going to go. I really don't know, but hopefully this will all end Sunday, and again, more on that later with the predictions. Miss TV had the Wyatt family on, and then it was interrupted by Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose. Despite what Wyatt have been doing these past couple of weeks, this past last week, attacking Randy Orton first and then Jimmy Uso on Smackdown, it seems that Roman Reigns came out and told Bray Wyatt face to face that he had a part in it. Now, this is in a way interesting to me, because I don't know who this part could be. I hope, for Roman Reigns' sake, it's someone who can counteract Braun Strowman, because that dude, if it's no one that can counter him, if all three can counter him, then fine. But we all know that he's a one-man wrecking through, Mr. Strowman, and he has took basically on. He's took basically Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose on by himself. Wyatt haven't done that much. Bray and Luke, they just stay back and just let him do his work and everything. You know, it's got to be somebody that can counteract Braun Strowman, because if it's not somebody that, I think Braun Strowman will make mincemeat out of all three of them. But I really don't know. I'm really stumped on this one, who it could be. I heard it was going to be Eric Rowan. The question is, will he be back in time? I don't think he's going to be back in time for it, so it could be anybody. For all we know, it might even be The Undertaker. I don't know. But it's going to be interesting nonetheless. And I'm very much looking forward to it, seeing who it is. And I'm very intrigued to see who it is. Very intrigued indeed. Tag Champions, PTP, which kicked off Raw. Tag titles, New Day, retain. Now, I've never denied the fact that New Day are a great tag team. Kofi and Big E are the team of the group. The odd one out is Xavier Woods. He should be the manager, quite frankly, because he's got a big mouth. You watch the match, you can hear him on the outside. He's leaving the mic, and you can still hear the guy. I don't like New Day. I mean, what the fuck is Big E? I mean, Jesus Christ. This guy comes out, he starts doing this on the freaking map. You know, the clapping thing and all that. This big 300-pound guy doing that. What the fuck is that? Seriously? And you've got Kofi doing it as well, but he's not 300 pounds, so it looks okay when Kofi's doing it, even though it looks a little bit silly, but when this big dude comes out like that, this weightlifter, you know, what the fuck? But at the end of the day, it was a great tag match, two great teams, two of the top teams in WWE, and yes, I even said New Day in that, and they got the victory. New Day retained the belts, and then the Dudleys came out and gave them a little bit of a warning. Don't forget about them, because Dudleys will face the New Day this week on Night of Champions. That's right. There's all this rumour about the Dudleys coming in, taking the spots from the other group. I don't care. The Dudleys are back. 3D. You know, the Dudleys are back. They're going to be 10-time World Tag Team Champions. If not at Night of Champions, it's going to be sooner or later. So, all in all, great tag match. I really dug it, and I've always said, even though I don't like New Day, Big E and Kofi are the star of that team, whether anyone likes it or not. Because if Xavier Woods is the odd one out, excuse me, a little bit cold. Now, and one of my favourite moments in the match was, I believe it was Titus O'Neil, I'm not sure. Titus O'Neil, Darren was one of them. They broke the trombone of Xavier Woods, just ripped it apart. I don't know, it was pulled on it, and that's one of the things came off the thing, which was great. They couldn't use that. I mean, Xavier Woods, like I've said many times, has not been relevant since TNA. Back when he used Consequences Creed. I just wish Kevin Nash did come back and knock him unconscious, quite frankly. Unconscious Creed guy. Because that's what Kevin Nash used to call him. But, yeah, all in all, great tag match nonetheless. Now, let me just check if there's anything else that I've missed. mentioned everything else. Mentioned the Divas. Suplex City. Dolph mentioned the. Oh yeah, just one more thing to add as well. Back of the Dolph Ziggler bit. Summer Rae was backstage with the present that she got, that she took while she was carrying out Rusev and everything, and took a look at it. It was jewellery. Like I say, I don't know where this is going to go. Is Dolph smitten with Summer Rae? Have Lana and him split up? I don't know. But hopefully, like I say, this will end in Night of Champions. Now, was this a good Raw? Yes. But it was average. It wasn't like it was a go-to show into Night of Champions, but it was not big for me. It was not like an impactful Raw, if you will. I mean, for Pete's sake, they've done Night of Champions, right? Night of Champions, and it's come out great, sorry, SummerSlam. It's come out good, but the booking sucked. Yeah, they've done SummerSlam, came out good, booking sucked. That's what ruined the pay-per-view. All you people out there saying, SummerSlam sucked. SummerSlam was good. It wasn't the best SummerSlam in the world, I'll give you that. But SummerSlam was good. The booking sucked on it. I don't know who booked it, who's booking the pay-per-view, but considering Jon Stewart cost Cena the US title, whoever did that, whoever came up with that idea, won shooting. Seriously. And I will say this, looking back at it now, they made it out of the Divas, no doubt. But all that's going to change in Night of Champions, more on that in a second. But as far as the Raw rating goes, I've seen better Raws. Like I said, they did a good pay-per-view, SummerSlam, but the booking sucked, and then the next night on Raw, they did a 5-star Raw, which is something I had said in 10 years. But this one was average for me. There wasn't like something that was captivating. Yes, Sting had a match on Raw, that's beautiful, but it just wasn't to be for me. And in Sunday Segway terms, I'm going to give it a 6 out of 10. In my terms, I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. That is as nice as that could be. It was good, there was okay stuff in there, but it didn't fire on all cylinders, and there wasn't like that wow moment. Yes, Sting had a match, and it was great. That was probably the best match of it. Probably the best moment of the night, the fact that Sting actually got in the damn ring on Raw. But, it just didn't captivate me. Like that show. I'd say, like the show after Night of Champions. SummerSlam rather. So I've got Night of Champions on mine. I mean, that was a 5-star show. August 24th Raw was a 5-star show. I don't care what anyone says. 5 stars all the way around for me. I really did like that show. Shouldn't do that constantly every week. Anyway, that about wraps up the Raw review. So without further ado, I'm going to go quickly through my predictions for Night of Champions. That's right, Night of Champions pay-per-view, which is this Sunday on Sky Box Office if you're in the UK, $14.95, and whatever it is in the US, in Europe rather. Also, why pay for it though when you can get it on the network for $10.99? Get it in your cable, whatever it is you get, and on your laptop, or even your PS4 if you've got a PS4 or PlayStation or whatever the heck they call it nowadays. And just get it. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome. And I'm going to kick this off with Neville, Lucha Dragons, and I might as well do the pre-show. Neville, Lucha Dragons, and Cosmic Wasteland. I want to see Cosmic Wasteland go over. Because, like I said to you, the Ascension, this could be good for the Ascension. What's going down, since they've come up from NXT, when they were dominant and the longest reigning tag team champions, they're being known as a poor man's Legion of Doom. But now they've joined up with Stardust, someone who has learned from a guy like Randy Orton when he was in Legacy, who Cody Rhodes, yes, but who could bring that in and teach these two young guys, because let's face it, it's still young, they're still raw, and they have the potential to be a great tag team, but this haven't been shown that direction, the ascension, and who better to get than Cody Rhodes to learn from that, and this could be good for them, and I want to see these lot go over on these three, but I doubt it's going to happen. Neville and Lucha Dragons are looking for revenge, especially Lucha Dragons after what happened on Smackdown with the Cosmic Wasteland, and all this will end at Night of Champions, and I believe Mighty Mouse himself, everybody's favourite Geordie, and Lucha Dragons will go over. You know, we see that he is, though. He is Mighty Mouse. I don't care what anyone says, he is Mighty Mouse. But I'm not saying that in a negative way, I'm saying that in a good way, because I actually like Neville. I mean, how could you not? I just, what I don't like is the fact that I think WWE are trying to portray him as the new, so to speak, the new, what's his name? Rey Mysterio. That's what I heard anyway. I might be wrong on that. New Day versus the Dudley Boys. I'll do that now. Straight up, Dudley Boys 10-time World Tag Team Champions. I think the New Day have had their fun and they've had their run. The Legends are back, and I think they're going to spoil the party. And the Legends will be tag team champions, and they deserve it too. To be honest with you, I mean, it's great seeing them back. They've kicked ass ever since they've come back. You wouldn't think that one of them was a former world television champion in TNA, and actually one of them was a former world heavyweight champion. But they're back in WWE and looking to take the tag team titles and looking to take their tag team spot back. I don't know what's going to take place though. Will they get the tables? Will they put the tables? I don't know. All I know is you've got two great teams. One's a great team, yes, I said great team for the New Day, but I don't think they've got what it takes to beat the Legends. And the Dudleys will come out tag team champions. And there will be a New Day, yes it will. Dolph Ziggler, Cesaro, I think Dolph will win, although I've got a funny feeling Rusev might go over. Dolph will go over though, because he'll be looking for revenge not only for himself, considering what's been going on with him and Summer Rae, getting blamed for things and causing a split between him and Lana. I still think Rusev's still obsessed with Lana, and Dolph will be looking for payback not just for him but for Lana as well. What will happen, I don't know, but I think Dolph will win. I swear if Rusev takes another super kick right now, he's going to get a concussion. It's a shame. It's a wonder he didn't get a concussion from that when he got it Raw. But all in all, Dolph Ziggler to win. Now, Wyatt and Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and the mystery partner. I think Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose and the mystery partner will win. But I think the Wyatt should go over. Just give it a little bit of an established spot in this feud, because I know this is not going to be over. I think these two teams should, this feud between these two, the Wyatts and Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, should go on to Survivor Series and have the Survivor Series match. Now, question is, this was scheduled, this was penciled in for SummerSlam, but it didn't go down because it was meant to be Sting that was going to have this, Sting and Bray Wyatt, but Sting's gone now a different direction, more on him in a minute. So I don't know who, like I said during the Raw review, I don't know who's capable of doing this. But all in all, it's going down nonetheless, and it's going to be interesting. But well, I believe Roman Reigns and Ambrose and the mystery partner will win. I think the Wyatt should go over, but I believe Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose will win, and the mystery partner. But it's going to be interesting to see who the mystery partner is. Could it be someone from the WWE roster? Could it be someone outside of WWE? Someone that we haven't seen in a while brought back. It could be anybody. I have my ideas of who it could be, but I highly doubt it. But anyway, Roman Reigns, Dean Ambrose, and the mystery partner to win. Now, Kevin Owens and Ryback, Kevin Owens to win this, and I won't be disappointed if Ryback wins. I just think Kevin Owens should get that title and have him pushed as a heel like he was on NXT with the NXT title. He couldn't work. I think they tried to build the IC title as the workhorse title again, but it's a bit difficult. It's really a bit difficult considering, considering the fact that what's taken place, with the what's taken place with the title, what they're trying to do with the IC title. They're trying to bring legitimacy back to it and credibility. It already had that because it had more credibility than the US title, but I think they're trying to do that again. Take it back to what it was back in the early days. But I don't, Kevin Owens could do that because Kevin Owens could work. He's great. He's great in the ring. He's just good. Whether you love him or you hate him, he's good. Ryback can do it as well. But the injury might cause that not to happen for him. But they tried to do that with Daniel Bryan, but look what happened with that. The neck injury caved in. I mean, that guy's got a bad neck, seriously. But I won't be disappointed if Ryback wins. I just have a feeling Kevin Owens might win. They might end the title run of Ryback there. Hell, you know what? Why not have a feud with these two? I wouldn't mind saying it. Ryback, Kevin Owens feud for the Intercontinental Championship, I'll take it. But on this thing, I'm going to go with Kevin Owens. But just to let you know, if Ryback wins, I won't be disappointed. A lot of you people may, because there's a few Ryback haters out there. But I actually like this Ryback. I didn't like the Ryback that was with Curtis Axel that turned heel. I killed him. But I like this Ryback. They're going to feed me more. This is what you should stand in the first place. But everyone goes down spiral somehow. Now, Divas title, Nikki Bella and Charlotte will do this because I've only got 3 matches left. Like I said earlier on, where we get in the Divas division, and Nikki Bella will lose the Divas Championship. She's had a fun, she's had a fame, if you will. Yes, I'm now the longest reigning Divas Champion in WWE history because my boyfriend, politics for me. Charlotte is the future of the Divas division. She is the here and now of the Divas division. She will be the Divas division after NXT Night of Champions. I almost said NXT there. I apologize, but she will take it and she will do what she did in NXT to the Divas division because Lord have mercy, the Divas division deserves some legitimacy. And if anyone was capable of doing it, it's Charlotte. Because like I said many times, the Divas of WWE, not necessarily saying all of them, but they can hold a candle to the NXT girls. Period. And Charlotte will bring credibility back. Because I believe she can do it. Hell, if her dad can do it with the world title, crying out loud, and do what he did with that, she can do it with the Divas title. Quite frankly, I hope she drops the Divas title in the bin and bring the women's title. Hey, they brought the Dudleys back for Pete's sake. I never thought I'd see that again, but they need to do something with that and do it quick. Now, for the US title and the world title. I'll start with the US title. My prediction, John Cena. Now, I think they want to put the belt back on him at the end. I don't blame them for doing it because they want to bring legitimacy back and credibility back to the US title. And John Cena was doing that during his reign with his open challenges and that. And if there's anybody who can bring legitimacy back to a title, or credibility back to it, or integrity, if you will, it's John Cena. I don't care who you are. You can hate John Cena all you want. He does do that. He was doing that with the US title. Hell, he was having some of the best matches on Raw. His matches with Cesaro and shit like that. So... And plus, it made no sense in my opinion to put the US title on Seth Rollins. He was a world champion. Why does he need the US title for? Like I say, I swear that match at SummerSlam smelled the Ring of Honor. I'm sure somebody was watching Ring of Honor show. Death before decided and said, "Oh, we could do that. We could do that title thing. You know, let's do it." I swear it was a copy of Ring of Honor. But anyway, they did it, and it was great. Apart from the John Stewart thing. And John Cena will be the US champion. Now Sting will be the world champion. That's right. Seth Rollins loses both. I believe this will happen. Sting should win the world championship for three reasons, in fact. One, to fill his legacy. Not that he needs it, but hey, why not have the guy 14 years waiting to get the WWE? Let's put the belt on. Let's give him that. He's a legend, he's an icon. Let's give him a run with it. Two, Seth Rollins' time's up. I believe that. It started at Battleground. He's been lucky. He's been lucky since WrestleMania, quite frankly. But and like I said on Michael Larkin's podcast, he's been nothing but a chicken shit champion. I mean, he's had the authority watching his back. He's had freaking JJ watching his back. He doesn't need them. But hey, anything gets him being an established heel, I suppose. And the third reason why Sting should win this is he needs a legitimate win. On pay-per-view, in the ring, whatever. He needs a good, solid, legitimate win to cover for the crap that was done at WrestleMania. With Triple H. I mean, for goodness sake. I still don't understand, and I never will to this very day, why Sting did not win that match at WrestleMania. It's as simple as that. I know why. Triple H. But if you watch the WrestleMania rankings of Jay Williams and Jeff Meacham from No DQ, they say it best. He had no reason to go over. The DX thing and the NWO thing was cool. The NWO thing makes sense. I mean, it would have made more sense to the Wolfpack. But you know, it just didn't work. It didn't make sense, but it was fun nonetheless. What wasn't fun was Triple H winning. Made no sense. And that's why Sting should be the world champion. To get that off his head, have a good run with it, couple of runs with it. Couple of months at the most. Not a long run. I don't think he'll be able to handle the pressure. But you know, have a good couple of months with it at least. Now, Sheamus cashing in. Everybody thinks Sheamus is going to cash in. I doubt it. He's teased the fact that he's going to cash in. He says Rollins is going to beat Cena and Sting, it's going to be three matches instead of two for Seth Rollins. I doubt that, quite frankly. To be honest, I think they should put that on him. On Raw. Make cash in on Raw. Give Sting a couple of months. I can guarantee you this. If Sting wins the world title Night of Champions and Sheamus cashes in, the WWE fans are going to be happy. You heard in Brooklyn what it was like when he picked the world title up. They changed the building. They want to see Sting win the world title. And as much as I love Seth Rollins, and I do, he's a great wrestler. He's been like a chicken shit heel. You know, like I said, everybody will help him. Hell, Kane helped him to get him a fucking what to call it, to get the championship. The first place when he won Money in the Bank. But he's just been a chicken shit heel. Is what he is, and it hasn't been good for him. He should have made when he won the world title. He should have had to beat people consecutively, because he could have been an awesome champ. You know, he was an awesome Ring of Honor champion. He could have been an awesome World Heavyweight champion, but it didn't. And all this little thing with Rollins, the authorities going to a match with Triple H and Rollins. Probably penciled for next year's WrestleMania. Why do you have to win so much about WrestleMania? You know, the big matches, man. I want to see that as well. I want to see SummerSlam. But Undertaker will run a battleground. If you like the Wrestling Matters podcast, why not check out their Facebook page at facebook.com/WM podcast and like the page and show your support to the podcast that stands up for professional wrestling, the Wrestling Matters podcast. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans. sure to tune in each and every Wednesday for the Progress Wrestling Podcast. That's right, each and every week on Wednesdays, for the time being at least, I will be reviewing their shows from their on-demand service, Demand Progress. So be sure to check out the hottest promotion to come out of London. That's right, it's Progress Wrestling. This is Progress. This is a podcast on Progress. Every Wednesday on SoundCloud, YouTube, OSW TV, and every other podcasting site that matters. Be sure to check it out. Wrestling matters, wrestling fans. Welcome back, everybody, to the Wrestling Matters podcast. And again, guys, hope you enjoyed that audio. My Night of Champions predictions and my Raw audio. And again, guys, I deeply apologize if it sounded echoey or the audio wasn't good at certain points of it. Yeah, that's what happens when you get frustrated and shit like that happens and everything. You work your ass off and it just doesn't go well for you. But I'll make sure it all gets put right this week, guaranteed. But like I say, I deeply apologise, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. Now, we're back and let's get into the Smackdown main talking points. And yeah, why not? We'll throw NXT in there as well. Smackdown kicked off with this week with the WWE Heavyweight and United States Champion, Seth Rollins. Seemingly unfazed after being forced to tap out the Sting Scorpion Deathlock on Raw, as he predicted victory in both his matches this Sunday at Night of Champions on the Night of Champions pay-per-view. But once the title holder started talking about SmackDown's main event, pitting Rollins and Sheamus against Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, Mr. Money in the Bank arrived on the scene. Sheamus reminded the arrogant champion that he would be studying his strengths and weaknesses during the main event, in preparation for a potential Money in the Bank cash-in. He's been saying these past couple of weeks that it may very well go to 3 matches instead of 2 for Mr. Rollins. Now for the Divas match that was on. Divas tag match. After being tagged into the contest by Becky Lynch, Paige quickly took out both Naomi and Sasha Banks in imposing fashion. A brief disruption from Becky pulling the boss off the ring apron suddenly curbed the Diva of Tomorrow's momentum, however, opening the door for a quick pinfall victory for the Team BAD. Will Team PCB's rough patch continue this Sunday at Night of Champions when Charlotte challenges Nikki Bella for the Divas title? No, it won't. I can guarantee you that. Kofi Kingston beats Devon thanks to a little help from Xavier Woods. Big Show beats Cesaro. Cesaro probably looking for revenge after getting knocked out by Big Show on Raw when he was facing Miz, but Big Show put an end to that. Kevin Owens beats Dolph Ziggler by disqualification, all thanks to the big guy's interference, Ryback that is. The Nikki's celebration that she was supposed to have for being the longest reigning Divas champion kind of backfired on her because nobody turned up for it. She was all alone. That was until, well, I'll read through it. Nikki Bella's celebration in honor of her becoming the longest reigning Divas champion ever included plenty of hype, but ended up being a massive disappointment for the title holder. Not only was the fearless Nikki met with an empty room, but Team PCB and Charlotte ended up arriving as the number 1 contender to her Butterfly Championship belt, reminded her that she can lose her title this Sunday Night of Champions by pinfall, submission, countout, or DQ. So the stunt she pulled on Raw, the Twin Magic, if that happens again, she will lose her title because she will get disqualified. Summer Rae approaches Dolph Ziggler. The ongoing drama between Summer Rae, Dolph Ziggler, and their respective partners continued on SmackDown as the show offered a rather explanation for delivering a gift to Summer Rae on Monday night. I'm not going to say what it was. It was the jewelry. Main event took place. During the main event clash, Seth Rollins and Sheamus ended up arguing after the Celtic Warrior pulled away his part from his partner's tag attempt, prompting the Architect to take the Money in the Bank briefcase. Admin commotion, the World Heavyweight Champion and US Champion was eventually able to tag in the Irish Superstar, opening up Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose to take care of the rest with a Superman Punch and Daddy Deeds combination for the win. The night was not over though, as the Wyatt family appeared on the Titantron telling the brothers in arms means that it doesn't matter who the partner is for this Sunday's huge 6-man tag at Night of Champions, they will all fall down. And that is the end of the Smackdown main talking points. So let's get right into it, guys. We'll go straight to the NXT main talking points. Hope you're enjoying the podcast so far. Right, NXT talking points. Let's do this. NXT kicked off this week with Bull Dempsey challenging Tyler Breeze to a match, courtesy of what happened in the tag match last week. Adam Rose declared that he was here to poop, as he puts it, on the NXT universe and Tyler Breeze's party. But Bull Dempsey was out for retribution after Prince Pretty's brutally attacked him following their ouster from the Dusty Rhodes Tag Team Classic in the New York Nightmare wanted a match with Prince Pretty, but Rose didn't intend to step aside. But when Rose slapped Dempsey, the bull-fit superstar clobbered him with a series of clubbing blows before nearly getting his hands on Prince Pretty after that. However, Breeze scraped from the ring as Bull roared at him, demanding a one-on-one battle with will he get his wish next Wednesday on the WWE Network. Ty Dillinger beat Danny Burch. Nothing new there, just a little squash match. Mr. Perfect 10. Apollo Crews beats Solomon Crow. These two friends shook hands before trading holds, but their friendship went out the window temporarily when Crow kicking a second hand shake away. The hacker soon realized he couldn't match strength or agility with the powerful Crews, instead using his ring awareness to gain the upper hand. Crew trapped his opponent under the ring apron before pummeling him with a barrage of fists. Crew took control of the bout until Crews countered with a sleeper hold with a jawbreaker. There was no stopping the fired-up Crews, who powered his way to victory with a breathtaking gorilla press standing moonsault combination. Baron Corbin and Rhino defeat Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa in the quarterfinals of the tag team tournament, the tag team Dusty Rhodes Classic tournament. Divas champion Bayley beats Sarah Dobson as well, making her triumph return to Full Sail University as the champ. However, the celebrations were ended because she would get into a verbal confrontation with Sasha Banks, which ended up, again, spoiler alert on Facebook, which I already knew, it'll be Bayley one-on-one with Sasha Banks, an NXT takeover in October. I believe it's October 7th, and they will hook up in a 30-minute Iron Man match, or in this case, Iron Woman match, for the NXT Championship. Women's Championship, that is. So, again, another spoiler alert from good old Facebook and Twitter and whatever. So it should be good nonetheless. Now, that is the end of this part. I'll be back right after this with ROH, TNA, and a few other things as well. So stay tuned. If you like the Wrestling Matters Podcast, why not follow the Wrestling Matters Podcast now on Twitter at WM Podcast for all professional wrestling news. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Wrestling Matters Podcast. And without further ado, we won't waste any time. Let's get right into it. TNA main talking points. TNA kicked off this week with the contract signing in the winner-take-all match. Jamie Borash mentions that for over 13 years, Jeff Jarrett and Dixie Carter have been synonymous with TNA wrestling. He welcomes the Jarretts and TNA president Dixie Carter for the contract signing. JB explains that the Lethal Lockdown main event between Team TNA and Team GFW will be for control of the company. Dixie tells Jeff, "I love TNA with every fiber of my being. After tonight, you will have no part in TNA moving forward." Jeff reminds Dixie that the first dollar invested in TNA wrestling came from his back pocket, and at the end of the night, you're going to be exactly where you should have always been, on the outside of the wrestling business, looking in. The contracts were signed and placed inside a briefcase controlled by JB. Jeff Jarrett cheap shot Borash before leaving the ring. The other matches were... the other match in TNA was Shira and Abyss. Shira being the former cohort of the Revolution. And that ended with Shira choke slams Abyss and makes the cover. Abyss is out at 2, and James Storms rushes to the ringside with a steel chair. The official removes the chair, and Storm takes a shot with the cowbell. He misses Shira and connects with Abyss. The big man sends Storm outside and plants Abyss with the Sky High and gets the victory. So, we all know it's the end of the Revolution anyway, because James Storm is out of TNA. He's no longer in TNA, so it'll be interesting to see what happens. EC3 comes out and does his usual routine, and Spud comes out and challenges him to a match. And I believe he's going to get the match next week, but obviously Spud didn't take too kindly, or doesn't take too kindly, to EC3's treatment of Jeff Hardy. 4-way knockouts match, Lady Tappa, Gail Kim, Awesome Kong and Brooke for the Knockouts title, and Gail Kim becomes the new champion. And all of that led to the final match of the evening, which was the winner-take-all Lethal Lockdown. And it all ended with Modeski and Bram collide as Myers assaults Galloway and Lashley. Galloway drills Myers with a big boot before dropping him with a Future Shock DDT onto the trash can. Galloway secures the victory. Team TNA beat Team GFW. Team TNA celebrates with Dixie Carter as Impact goes off the air. So that's about it in this occasion, guys. Team TNA get the victory. I disagree with it, to be honest with you. I thought they should have let this feud, pan out just that little bit more. But I suppose it's the way of TNA, or the way of Jeff Jarrett removing himself from TNA altogether. Oh yeah, we'll just put it in a little miniature angle and we'll set it up and take it from there, basically. So, I mean, it is what it is at the end of the day. Jeff Jarrett is now with, TNA. Jeff Jarrett's now with GFW. It's all about GFW. So I guess he can go on the outside looking in and watch TNA fall. Because if they don't buckle their IDs up, that's where they're going to end up being. And I've made my feelings clear about TNA. I think it was 2 weeks ago on this podcast, with the angles and the storylines that they've come up with, i.e. Jeff Hardy being the personal assistant, Eric Young winning a wooden leg off a guy who spent time in the army fighting for the USA and everything. It's just bullshit. Hopefully TNA will improve. It'll be interesting to see what happens with GFW though. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of this part of the Wrestling Matters podcast. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'll be back right after this with Ring of Honor, so stay tuned. Be sure to tune in each and every Wednesday for the Progress Wrestling Podcast. That's right, each and every week on Wednesdays, for the time being at least, I will be reviewing their shows from their on-demand service, Demand Progress. So be sure to check out the hottest promotion to come out of London. That's right, it's Progress Wrestling. This is Progress. This is a podcast on Progress. Every Wednesday on SoundCloud, YouTube, OSW TV, and every other podcasting site that matters. Be sure to check it out. Wrestling matters, wrestling fans. Be sure to tune in every single Tuesday now for the Wrestling Matters Podcast Extra, where I'll be hosting a podcast on one promotion and one promotion only. ICW, Insane Championship Wrestling, the hottest promotion in Scotland. Well, I'll be reviewing their shows. Oh my God! Talking ICW.
That's 13-14!
And who knows, maybe getting some guests on. So be sure to tune in to the Wrestling Matters Podcast Extra ICW podcast, Insane Championship Wrestling, every Tuesday on YouTube, Podomatic, Stitcher Radio, downloaded free at iTunes, Mixcloud, and SoundCloud. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans.
World, look into my eyes. When you see me on a show, when you see these fans, you know you've got the best in the damn world. We are ICW and you're gonna know our name.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the penultimate part of the Wrestling Matters podcast. And yes, it's time for Ring of Honor, ladies and gentlemen. A few days away before their big pay-per-view, which I actually know what happens. Dijak and Jay Diesel went up against Red Dragon in the opening bout. Red Dragon now being the IWGP Tag Team Champions, and I'm guessing it might be Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions. I don't know, but they've got IWGP belts anyway, so either way. the world and television champion whining at ringside. And it was just two good teams. Diesel and Dijak representing the House of Truth. I would probably think, in my opinion, that the experience level definitely went to Red Dragon. Because there was at times, although Dijak and Diesel got their blows in, Red Dragon were just too experienced and too well diverse as a tag team than Dijak and Diesel. And some great double team wrestling by Red Dragon proved that they were the more experienced of the team, and a double tap out led to their victory. Red Dragon victory, that is. I mean, at the end of the day, it was just all basically build up to what Jay Lethal went through at the All-Star Extravaganza pay-per-view, because he had to face both Red Dragon in singles matches. Babyface for the TV belt and Kyle O'Reilly for the World Heavyweight belt. So, all in all, good way to start off and a good tag match. Now, another person was at commentary, Silas Young, because he was there to watch Dalton Castle and Cedric Alexander. Now, these two put on a good match. Cedric was in control of most of it. My favourite moment there, Dalton doing a 619 move, flipping over on the 619 into a Hurricane Rana on the outside. He does it so well. All in all, it was a good match. Some great wrestling involved. Both these two could wrestle. Dalton has Silas Young to think about, and Cedric had Moose to think about. And the boys... It ended with the boys fighting down Castle. Young grabs hold of them, threatens to steal them and everything, and then Castle, being distracted off that, eventually ends up losing the match to Cedric. And then after the match, Moose comes out and spears Cedric after Stokely Hathaway was at ringside distracting Cedric Alexander and Vader Scott, which was just fun to watch. And then it was inside ROH with Mandy Leon, and then Adam Cole got involved, but he was more polite this time, unlike the last time, and he ended up having a few comments to say about two matches at the All-Star Extravaganza pay-per-view. The main event saw War Machine against the Kingdom. Now, for the first half of this match, Kingdom couldn't even control War Machine. They were getting dominant left, right, and centre. Kingdom, to start the match, super kicked War Machine, and the super kick just pissed War Machine off. And then it was all power, strength, and dominance there from War Machine that moment on. After the break, Kingdom managed to get control, but again, War Machine managed to fight off and prove their dominance. Kingdom did show some good tag team wrestling, double team wrestling, but it was just, not enough to control the powering War Machine. Yes, Maria Kanellis, the witch, got involved. However, she got involved one too many times, because the Young Bucks came out and prevented her from getting involved even more, which allowed War Machine to hit their double team finisher on Kingdom to get the victory. And after that, Young Bucks decided to take upon themselves and super kick Mike Bennett right in the chin. And then KRD, the Addiction, come out and attack the Young Bucks, making a statement that they're the tag team champions and they should not be forgotten in the triple threat match at All-Star Extravaganza. All in all, good show, good Ring of Honor show, I thought, and I'll give it a 4 out of 5. I like it. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is the end of the Ring of Honor review, and I'll be back right after this quick time out with the final part of the Wrestling Matters podcast. I'm just going to do some promotions on this and some shoutouts, so I'll see you in a bit. If you like the Wrestling Matters podcast, why not check out their Facebook page at facebook.com/WM podcast and like the page and show your support to the podcast that stands up for professional wrestling, the Wrestling Matters podcast. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans. If you like the Wrestling Matters podcast, why not follow the Wrestling Matters podcast now on Twitter at WM Podcast for all professional wrestling news. Wrestling Matters, wrestling fans. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the final installment of the Wrestling Matters podcast, and that about wraps it up, guys. I just got a few shout-outs and promotions that I need to get in before I go. October 31st in Middlesbrough, TWT is supposed to be coming. Now, Total Wrestling T-side, for more information on these guys, go to facebook.com/TWT Wrestling and the official TWT on Twitter. Now, I don't know what's going down. From what I've gathered, they're coming the back end of October, Halloween night, I'm guessing, and they're going to promote to have a show on. in Middlesbrough. The only thing is, I don't know where because they've been very, very quiet as of late. Yes, they've had some redo. They have to redo a few things as well, according to their Twitter. But like I said, they've been very, very quiet. So for more information on that, like I said, go to facebook.com/TWT Wrestling and the official TWT on Twitter. For more information on EPW, I don't know why I'm doing this, but whatever. For more information on EPW Wrestling coming to your local area, go to EPW American Wrestling on Facebook and the EPW Wrestling 1 on Twitter and epwwrestling.co.uk for more information on that as well. Also, guys, be sure to check out this week on the Wrestling Matters channel as well. Be sure to check that out as well. There's going to be some review up there of Night of Champions at some point. I'm guessing right now as you're hearing this, it's up now. So be sure to check that out. Also, be sure to check out future other projects on the Wrestling Matters channel as well. It is all taking place at www.youtube.com/AJW Wrestling Matters. And yes, that is also the place where you can hear the weekly podcast of the Wrestling Matters podcast, that is. Also, like I said, you hear this today, tomorrow ICW, Progress Wrestling the day after. Also, a quick shout out to Michael Larkin. Dude, I'm going to get you on the show as soon as possible. I've already got some things lined up, but I'll be in touch. I don't know what comment you left on there, SoundCloud, saying that you'll be in touch in October 10th or something. I don't know. I don't know why that is or anything like that, but I'll be in touch and whatever happens, happens. Mr. Vicious, Team Vicious, if you're listening, I want you on the podcast again. We'll go round 2 again. Last time it fucked up. My Skype recorder messed up, so Mr. Vicious, please, if you're hearing this right now, get in touch with me and let's get you back on this podcast and pick up where we left off. And this time it will work because I've got the Skype recorder working and everything, so it will work this time around. I can promise you that. And also shout out to OSW TV as well. OSW TV, only Scottish Wrestling Television. Be sure to check them out on Facebook as well as their website, oswtv.co.uk. And before all else, be sure to give Wrestling Express a follow on Twitter as well. Bear with me, I will get you their Twitter page as I'm doing this right now. Wrestling Express, got them at Wrestling Express on Twitter. Be sure to give them a follow as well. We've got something in the pipeline that we're going to be working together on, so, be sure to check that out. And, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Anthony Walker, the HD88AD. Look out for the Progress Wrestling and ICW podcast this week. I can't guarantee they're going to be up on time, because, like I said, I've got another match that I'm stewed in at Middlesbrough Football Club, so I can't guarantee they're going to be up on time. But by the end of this week, they will be up, like last time, and then hopefully the week after, normal service will be resumed. And until then, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Anthony Walker, the HD88AD. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening to this podcast at WM Podcast on Twitter, facebook.com/WM Podcast. And until next time, guys, wrestling matters as it always is. NAK till death, baby. Peace out.
Well, enough is enough, and it's time for a change. Professional wrestling, this is it. This is us standing up.
Yes, 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 yes!
That's 13-14! Make it till death!
Dina, I am the best in the world.
Cause that's the bottom line. Cause Stone Cold Simpson.